Alright guys, in this video we have some significant PlayStation 5 information to go over and discuss. I was thinking about putting this in the first video regarding Ghost of Tsushima earlier, but I quickly realized that there was just too much info on that Ghost of Tsushima update. It needed its own dedicated video for those who were interested. But in this video, we're talking about some comments that were recently made by Randy Pitchford, and he's talking about the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X, and he's letting us know that this is the biggest leap he has ever seen when it comes to console generations, even bigger than the jump from 2D to 3D. And what's really important about his comments and why I'm excited to highlight them is he is emphasizing once again the reason for this is due to I/O throughput and what this will do for future games and just how big of a literal game changer this actually is. You guys know this is a recurring theme here on the channel. We've talked about it time and time again because I genuinely do believe that there are many people out there who do not understand the significance of the I/O throughput and why Sony decided to double, maybe even triple down on this over raw GPU power, why they went in with the I/O throughput and the SSD and all that stuff. I think it's important because again, there's nothing wrong with the Xbox Series X. It's an amazing console and it's going to do amazing things for games. But when you're talking about long-term game development, like what's really going to start to fundamentally change game development, potentially from the ground level, yeah, this is what we're talking about. We're also going over something regarding Cory Barlog and how a lot of PlayStation fans seem to believe that he is actually teasing out a new game. He's come out here and tried to cover his tracks a little bit, saying that no, that's not what he's doing. But I'm going to talk about why I think it's obvious he is teasing a new game. So here's what we're going to be going over in today's video. If you could do me a favor, hit that like button. If you do end up enjoying it, it really helps it out a lot. Hit the subscribe button and hit the bell notification icon as well. But starting here with Randy Pitchford's comments, it says, speaking during an interview with GameSpot, Randy Pitchford, president and CEO of Gearbox, has claimed that the generational leap afforded by the PS5 and the Xbox Series X is the biggest he has ever seen, including the jump from 2D to 3D back in the mid-90s. So this is exactly what Randy Pitchford said. I think customers will realize how profound of a difference it is to have the throughput capability that these new platforms bring. It's just absolutely unreal. The leap there with the PS5 and the Xbox Series X is the biggest leap I have ever seen in the history of console generations. I'm saying including the leap from 2D to 3D. It's going to change the way we think about every bit of our experiences. However, it's going to be hard to see that in the initial launch titles because a lot of the launch titles are games that were endeavored upon before. Frankly, there are a lot of ports and games that have already been available on existing platforms that are being reimagined with these new platforms. Now, you need to understand the significance of what he's saying here. He is saying exactly what I've been saying, and to be fair, I'm not the one who came up with it. I've just been listening to what individuals like Mark Cerny and the CEO of Fortnite, even just other developers, third-party developers, first-party developers. What he's saying here is, in my opinion, kind of obvious, but the I/O throughput is what's going to enable true innovation in the future of game development. That's where you're going to see the innovation. It's not going to be through more raw power. I mean, that always helps. I mean, let's be honest, we need more raw power, and we're getting that. That's a given with any console generation. But the I/O throughput is really where you're going to see the big changes, and he's letting us know that you're not going to see it right off the bat. You're not even going to see it right off the bat from Sony's own studios because it's going to take developers time to really kind of get creative, really figure out just how far they can push it, just come up with creative things. That's what this is all about. That's what this I/O throughput leap is going to enable, is the creativity to just kind of go through the roof. The sky's literally the limit. You can hear how excited he is talking about it here. And it's not just for the PS5, it's for the Series X as well. But we need to be honest here and acknowledge that there are some individuals who have really doubted Mark Cerny and doubted that Sony made the right call here with the areas, the architectural areas that they decided to double down on with the creation of the PS5. And in my opinion, we've already had many developers validate this, right? But this is just yet another somewhat high-profile developer who's expressing their excitement, not for GPU power, you know, not for raw power, not for ray tracing or having more pixels, but for what the I/O throughput is going to allow them to do. You're talking about massive amounts of data that can be streamed in instantly, allowing game developers to fundamentally rethink their entire approach to game creation and development. I really want you to let that sink in. I'm telling you guys, I know it's tough because some people are like, oh, we're gonna have to wait 2 to 3 years to really see that, but still, like, you should be excited. We're getting great games now. We're gonna continue to get great games, but wait until we really get deeper into this next generation. You're gonna start seeing some crazy things from both sides. But I'm particularly excited to see what developers do with this insane I/O throughput and the insane SSD speed that we're gonna be seeing with the PS5, put together. So moving on from that, we're talking about Cory Barlog. It says here, God of War director Cory Barlog has put a damper on fan expectations by denying that he's teasing a new game. Speculations were running wild after Hawkeye Twitter users noticed that Barlog updated his profile. They assumed that he may be hinting at a new project because his cover photo, profile photo, and location are all space themed, and Santa Monica Studio was once rumored to be working on a sci-fi project. Comicbook.com published an article covering the conversation, prompting Barlog to respond with the following. And so if you look at this tweet, you look at what comicbook.com is saying, they're saying PlayStation fans think God of War director is teasing a new game, and Cory Barlog says narrator, he's not. Now, that's Cory Barlog very clearly saying, no, I'm not teasing a new game. To be fair to the fans, there were unsubstantiated reports earlier this year that Eric Williams, the developer who built Kratos, will be directing the next God of War, and Barlog will be working on the long-rumored sci-fi IP. And so they're referencing a tweet that came out on January 1st from Cory Barlog, and he says, first tweet of the new decade, Eric Williams, remember that name. And Eric Williams, I believe, was involved heavily with the combat, if I'm not mistaken, for God of War 2018. I think he's always been heavily involved with every God of War game. I'm not too familiar, so I don't want to give you incorrect information, but I know he plays a significant role and has always played a significant role when it comes to the God of War titles, and this is the speculation that occurred after that. But the reason why I want to tell you guys that this is 100% Cory Barlog teasing a new game is, well, as it says here at the bottom of this article, he was teasing God of War Ragnarok about a year ago with his pinned tweet. With a lot of people, it just went right over their heads. They had no idea. And so it's like, oh, okay. So you do tease things out. But more recently, and this is something I was following, right before the latest PlayStation 5 event, I was telling people, guys, the next God of War is going to be revealed here, because in my opinion, it just seems like the perfect time for that to happen. But shortly before the event, Cory Barlog updated his profile picture and his banner on his Twitter profile. And the banner was of Kratos, of his back facing us, basically saying Kratos is back. And his profile picture was changed to ice, which is obviously associated with Ragnarok and, the Great Winter and all that stuff. And a lot of people were doubting me. And they're like, dude, no, he's not teasing out. I'm like, I'm telling you, it's going to be at this event. And it was. But what's even more significant, if you really are taking what Cory Barlog is saying here, saying, no, I'm not teasing out a new game. That's not what this is. I want to go back to about like a month, maybe a month and a half ago, possibly even 2 months ago at this point. I made a video talking about a rumor that came out, and this rumor was coming from Moore's Law is Dead. It's another YouTuber, and he claimed that his source was telling him, and he believed his source, that the next God of War is further along in development than we think. It looks amazing, and it's going to be revealed this year at some point, and it's also going to be revealed that it's releasing in 2021. And a lot of people doubted this. They said there's no way, that just sounds too good to be true. And even Cory Barlog himself shut down this rumor, what was thought to be a rumor at the time, turned out to be true. Even Cory Barlog shut it down with a tweet saying, nope, it's not real, and people stopped talking about it after that. And it turns out that it was 100% correct. So I'm pointing this stuff out because Cory is known to kind of tease these things out And in my opinion, it does seem kind of obvious that he's not going to be the full-blown director of the next God of War. I mean, I could be wrong, but it just seems likely that he's working on something new. He's a very creative individual, and every creative loves to jump at the opportunity to create something brand new from the ground up and really just like, you know, just the sky's the limit once again here. And especially when you think about the PS5 and, you know, Cory Barlog saying he's excited about the SSD and all that stuff. I think that a space themed or sci-fi themed AAA game from Sony Santa Monica is something that is in the works. I think he is very obviously teasing that, and I can't wait to hear about it. I can't wait to see more of it. I know some people are like kind of concerned at the idea that he won't be, you know, directing the next God of War, but I'm pretty sure he'll be like supervising it, or he'll be some type of advisor, or he'll oversee it. He just won't be directing it, you know, himself. That's pretty common, but I just think that he's the type of individual that has earned the chance to do something completely new, completely different. And I think Sony 100% trusts him to do that, him and his team. So that's my 2 cents on the matter. I've seen other people talking about this. Other people were asking me my opinion. And guys, I think it's kind of obvious he's teasing something here. And it seems likely it is some type of sci-fi themed new IP. And I'm all for it. I'm here for it. I can't wait. I hope it's true. But at the very least, we know we're getting God of War Ragnarok, and we know that Cory was teasing that out multiple times. So that does it for this video, guys. I hope you did enjoy it. I hope you did find it informative. Again, if you did, be sure to leave it a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new and haven't already, hit the bell notification icon so you never miss an upload, and feel free to share this video out on top of all that. But until next time, guys, take care.